Hi, and welcome to Kitten's Corner. Today we're going to be cutting the little one's hair. I'm very excited. I can't wait to show you how well her rooting turned out. As promised, I'm still doing the baby of the video, and today's video baby is Anna. Anna is my silicone baby. She's actually my fourth silicone baby. She is an not Ivita, she is a Violence, and I'm probably saying that very wrong. And as you can tell, she's very squishy and she's very heavy. Um, but she's very squishy and she's very soft. And I haven't really, to be honest, bonded with her the way I probably wanted to and should have, but we'll get there. She takes a full pacifier and she's anatomically correct, of course. And she's wearing her spring and sprung clothes. That's my series. If you check out my Facebook page, I'll get some pictures of her in her little spring little sundress. Really, really short, but it's really, really absolutely adorably cute. So she's in her pretty and pink outfit, and she, as I said, having the description, she's not for sale as of yet. I'm going to attempt a little while longer to run with her. I haven't really gotten a feel with her. I thought about put her down. Oh, she's heavy. Thought about rooting her, but when I was reading up on the violence, baby, they actually have on there "do not root them," and I do believe it's because rooting gets holes in their heads, and unlike a reborn doll where we're going to be able to go in and glue the hair in, you can't with the silicone. So basically, if you root hair in, you're just going to be rooting it in and you're not going to be able to, it's not going to stay. So any rough combing or anything, you're going to lose your hair. So any effort in putting in that is kind of like frugal. Also, when you do take the hair out, because it eventually will come out, your doll will have holes all in her head that you cannot seal because it's silicone. So that being said, the goal was to root her, but after reading that, that made perfect sense to me because it's going to crack the rubber, etc., etc. I may still root her. Might get a wild hair one day when I'm off and do it. So let's get into the meat of the video. That's little Miss Natalie. I realized last week when I did the video, I changed her name mid video to Allison. That was a true brain fart. Maybe I was thinking about Allison and maybe she'll be the baby of the next video, which I'm going to try to do another video sometime this week, and because I want to do her eyelashes, to do Natalie's eyelashes. And right now, Natalie is here and she has a head full of hair. It is baby soft. Of course, you can't really feel it, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. It's super, 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 super soft. And it is rooted very directional. I'm gonna turn her around because you really can't tell from that side. This part is going back this way. It's going down and over to the right, and then it actually swirls around, and then it comes around, kind of spinning her instead of her head, and it swoops forward. All of this swoops forward, and then this side right here actually swoops downward, kind of forward and to the left. So if we were to say she had a part, it'll be right there. You can kind of see it there. It's kind of shaping up there. And if there was a part over here, spin her around this way, it'll be kind of right there. But it's basically swinging forward. Now, this time, the tools you're going to need is your toothbrush, of course, some scissors, of course, and this handy dandy water bottle. It is full of water, but just like getting into what I was saying about how I'm going to keep this hair soft, I do use what they call a wig spray, but it's basically a oil. And if you spray the wig spray on her hair before you brush or comb it in any of the doll's hair, I give every all of my new mommies that same instruction. It's going to keep her hair pretty soft and it's going to keep their hair like comb throughable, like ridiculously comb throughable. And if you feel like the hair is getting weighted or too heavy because you comb it and do that often, just a little soap and water, little baby shampoo. Hold their head carefully over the water because you don't want to get your reborn wet. But if you hold her head carefully over the water and wash her hair, then you can start process over again. Or you can just use water, whatever you prefer. People have their preferences. Water will do the same thing. The oil just gives it a nicer texture for me. I'm pretty sure it's not for everyone. So the first thing we're gonna do is wrap her up so that we don't get hair all over her nice outfit. So now Tully is officially at the barber shop. And if you have never seen someone um cut a Rubon's baby's hair, you know that it's you've probably seen them just do the head. I told you I kind of do the whole body. And what I found was they do the two finger method and so on and so forth. But we'll get into all of that. First thing we're going to do is wet her hair. So I have my PC filming, so we're going to slide that back a little, just a touch. And that's actually even better for you. And we're going to actually spray her head down. So I put the towel on her as well. We don't really want to get her all nice and wet, just her hair. And we're going to be really generous with the water the first time. So we're going to give it the effect of she just took a bath and got her hair washed, because we need it to lay a certain way. So we're gonna get it nice and wet here. And she said, "Y'all should have put me in a towel instead of this baby blanket." But and as you can see, it's laying, gonna start laying. I should say it's not laying. You're looking in the camera. It's not laying, but it's gonna start laying for you, where you can actually see patterns growing that are forming in her head, not growing in her head, but forming in her head. And those are the patterns that we're gonna clip the hair down to. So we're going to give her a good brushing, brush the baby's hair. And because, like I said, we have the whole body and not just the head, we can actually kind of give her a good spinning round. Turn her around town. Okay, and you can brush it any way you want to. It's your doll, it's your creation. We This one is directionally rooted, so kind of trying to brush it in the pattern that I have for her little head. And let me see if I can turn her around this way so you can see on this side. And what we want it to do is, without even using a comb, we're trying to get it to make a natural, well, we will use a comb, but we want it to see where it falls naturally, because we're going to actually cut it the way it's falling. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. Now we're going to pick a spot to start, because now we said she looks like so goodbye to her golf look. Golf. Golf look. I'm sorry. And we are going to start kind of where her swirl is. And it's right there at the top of her head where there's an actual swirl. So we're going to start there. And I got hair that's going in the wrong direction here. And we are going to start in the back, I guess. And we're going to do the two finger methods, where we're going to lift up a section, brush it outwards, put two fingers under, and we're going to snippy snip, snip, snip. And all we're trying to do is we want a certain length. So then we're going to follow that same length all the way through. Snip, 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 snip. Now we've got our first cut. So we have made our first commitment, and you can't really tell it, So, but there is the length. Let me see if I can turn her where you can kind of see the length where we have the committed hair. So what we're gonna do is, and I saw this with the video of a young child getting its hair cut. You brush your hair to match that length. So now you have the what you call the committed length, and we're just going to, and it should fall in layers, but we're going to match the rest of the hair in the back to that length. So we go a little bit beside it, so we have some of the committed length and some of the longer hair, and we're going to go back and forth. It is kind of timely, but I don't know about you, but I got all day. So we're going to take a little bit more, and we're going to brush upward, brush this side upward, and to our committed length again, bring it upward, and we snip again. Just no further than where we put it. We're gonna come back and trim it up some, but not. We'll see what it looks like after we get the long hair we know we're not gonna use out of the way. Brush a little more. Committed length. Also, just remember that I'm not tugging this hair very hard because her hair is not glued in yet. Because I wanted to make sure if I needed to add anything, there I still had a kind of a free kind of way to do it without having to worry about um fighting the glue, because the glue actually breaks the needles. So we know that she will not have her hair down her back, so we're still using the brushing up into our committed length. And then what we will do, snip, 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 snippity, snip, snip. Now her whole back of her hair is almost clipped all the way. And we'll come back again because I totally missed like 4 strands. We will hold her away from the video thing again. Give her a little spritzy spritz. And then come back with our toothbrush and make sure it's laying the way we want it to lay. And you can already see the difference in the back of her hair. All right. We've got behind her ear. I'm gonna have to come back and make it a little bit shorter. Not digging on that length. So we still have some trimming to do. It's definitely a timely process, but you do want to keep it all the same length. You don't want to rush yourself. It's no hurry. Um, you want to keep everything the same length. Come up and over, because what's going on is uh, it's longer on the top, and you don't want that. You kind of want it to fall in a little bit of a layer. Everybody does their clipping a little differently, of course. You're gonna find what works for you, and what works for you may not be something that works for me. So whatever works for you, that's what you do. Um, they, you're supposed to kind of like clip it at an angle to make it look like more of a natural cut into the hair rather, and so that it doesn't. It's supposed to look like it grew that way, not like you cut it. That's what I'm saying. But I know it's gonna get out eventually. So, all right. So I'm starting to see this shape here. I do kind of want to back off around her ears so that the hair doesn't fall over her ears, because her hair wouldn't fall over her ears. So we need to make sure we're going to keep it realistic. And we're going to keep spinning around. So we're going to check the back first. Hold on, guys. And getting her soaking wet. But she'll dry. And we're just going to brush it down. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. Okay, so we're going to come again because she's still long haired. We need to get a little bit more of that off. And like I said, you're gonna find your vision. You're gonna find where you want the hair to land, and your vision of where the hair should land might be totally different from where my vision of where I'm landing the hair. So when you cut your baby's hair, it might not land where my baby's hair landed, but that's perfectly fine. And that looks pretty decent. Now we're gonna take it around where it would land in the front. That looks pretty good. It's not exactly laying the way I wanted it to, but I'm gonna train it with the hat, and hopefully the hat will train it to keep laying down. It's not laying exactly the way I want it to. So we're going to take the front, we're going to take the same pattern, we're going to take our committed hair from the back, and we're going to clip the front the same length going around. So we're going to go around, grab a little bit more, brush it upward so that we're to the committed length. And like I said, you can always come back and trim it up if you're not really ecstatic about the length you cut it. You can always clip it down a little bit more, of course. And that's what you want to do. You don't, it's not a hurried process. And what you want is the front to be, the, if you hold it straight up, you're going to get hair that's laying kind of shorter. And that's kind of what your goal is to get hair that's not the same. You don't need that long length in the front. You want it to fall forward in her face. So you kind of want to, you don't want to go scissor happy because remember, you can't grow it back if you mess it up. So take your time and go ahead and get what you get a little bit at a time and get it done. No hurries in this at all, of course. Definitely no hurries. But you do want to like keep a pattern, and if you're rushing you're gonna mess up. So no rushing. So we brush it backwards. What I'm finding is it's falling kind of weird to me, but I do see one that is too long for her front hair. All right, we're still gonna have to come back and trim that again, trim that a little more. Like the front of her hair is like fighting this. Don't fight me, baby, don't fight me. And the other reason you want to take your time, because again, unless you're gonna reroot it, you can't really go back if you screw it up. Yeah, that looks good. I just need to get the right one. It's still way too long for the front of a little baby's head. That's where I'm at right now. Like, why are you so long? So we're going to come back and just do a little snippety snip. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. We want to be able to brush it forward, but we don't want her hair looking like golf chick. I don't know if you're following me from my Facebook, but I was like, I took a picture of her with her hair long in the hat. I was like, she looks like a teenage golf girl with it like that, but we're not aiming for a teenage golf girl. So, but yeah, we're gonna get her looking like a little one, a little baby, in a little bit. Now we have to take away this hair and we're gonna make it a little bit shorter so it's layered. Because what is happening is we got the length we want in the front, but the side is looking like it's a one long piece going around, and that's not what we want. We want it to look layered, and we want it to lay down. And she is getting super hairy on her clothes and stuff, so we're definitely gonna have to give her a good wipe down and wash her off. We get down with all this clippy clip stuff. And we keep it clipping, following the rain on her head. So I hope everybody's been hanging in there with Corona and everything else. I have fully started back work. Like when I say started back, I mean 40 plus hours work. And this is technically my only off day. So I wanted to get this kind of done today so that I can get her. I'm gonna still try to get her eyelashes done this week. So if you tune in a few days, you'll probably get to see her eyelashes done, and that's gonna be kind of fun. And then we'll take her here from there. Take her from there. Of course, the next step is to get her a photo shoot done and try to get her onto the eBay. And then, of course, when I do the photo shoot, I will put a link to her eBay page, so that if you were following along and you fell in love with this cute little full-bodied reborn, you can get her and make her yours. Take Natalie home, and then Natalie would be your little blinking baby from Bountiful Baby. To be honest with you, my I probably will stick with the upper torso babies. Not that she was hard to do. Don't get me wrong. She kind of was easy to do, but totally was not my thing. With the full body babies, I felt a lot of stress with it. I'm not sure why. And then the fact that it's her whole body and trying to learn, or not learn, but make sure I'm nailing the anatomy part, if you get what I'm saying. Then they have a boy version, and I'm like, do I really want to get into that? I kind of don't want to get into having what I call true anatomy babies in my repertoire, even though I think I pretty much nailed her. And unfortunately, you can't really see that part because YouTube would lose their mind. So, but trust me on that. Like, she looks really natural down in her girly girl parts, but you can't really see it because of course, she can't. I can't show it on eBay. Show it on YouTube. But if you're interested in her and you ended up getting her, then of course I will be more than happy. I think eBay will let me send that type of a picture. I'm not exactly sure, but I know I can do one where I have a little heart over her little personality. If you go on my Facebook page, you can actually see that picture of her with her. She's pretty much not dressed except for a little heart that I got from my messenger page and put like over her little personalities, which I think I think I did her really justice with her um, belly button and stuff. Like, she's detailed out really crazy, wild, like double take city. That if you weren't really paying attention, that okay, this is a doll, you would be like, whoa, she's detailed out like crazy. Now she is looking wild child city here. I promise you it's gonna be right. I promise you I'm not crazy. I promise you. But it is looking kind of wild on camera. I'm looking at it. But we get in the length, and I'm aiming for the length, and then I will do the sculpting, as it were, trying to get a really great length on her to start with, where her hair would be naturally occurring. So we get all the natural occurring stuff out of the way. She's got the spiky hair look going now, but she no longer looks like a goth. I guess she could still be a goth girl just with shorter hair. And you can get this little patch kind of out the way. Snippety snip on that little side. And we're going to have to really, really get into those details with her. This is where the person who showed how to do the hair kind of cut into like a montage, and the music started playing, and she started cutting hair really, really fast. And he was like, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? But of course, I'm doing this live, so you're not going to get the montage. You're going to get me actually cutting this hair here and trying to get it to lay the way I want it to, and you're getting it live. So you're basically seeing what I'm seeing. Um, but it is getting there. we do have a lot of trimming to do, and that was my main concern. Was like, okay, like where a baby's hair would be opposed to what I call a fantasy hairstyle, where if it was a doll, I'm shaking some of this hair so I can lay her down so I can do some detail cutting. So bear with me. I'm gonna move Tully out of the way just a second so I can lay her down. I'm gonna lay her down so I can detail cut a little bit. I feel like I have her at a really bad angle. I also, and she's soaking wet. Bless her heart. And she's poor little kid. She's like soaking wet right now. This is a real kid, man. The mother would be like, "Give me my child. I'm taking my child somewhere else to get her haircut. You got my baby up here swimming in water." But of course, one, I wouldn't be cutting a baby's hair, and two, she would have that plastic bibby thing on. So, in my defense, this is not a professional barbershop anyway. Okay, so what we want to do now is what I call detail clipping. Just want to give her more of a natural where the baby would have hair or not have hair. Um, I did root the size really super thin, and I purposely did that because most babies have very thin hair or no hair in places. So we were trying to, when I say we, I mean me, I was trying to create that look with this little one. So we have to get it detailed now. We really have to sacrifice and go ahead and cut it down a little bit shorter than what um I would say comfortable with, or like this is where she stops looking like the store bought doll with the big old pile of hair and starts looking like the newborn baby with the very little pieces of hair barely like on her head. So what we want to do is we're going to brush this down, and then we're actually going to come back and then get it a little bit shorter. And that's what's going to make the baby. It's going to make the difference then from her looking like she came from a store and her coming from like someone had her or something. So we're gonna try to get her looking really really nice, and I'm gonna use her. I'm using her hat, by the way, guys, because I don't. The blanket is wet, so it's gonna be purpose defeated. So this is kind of what we want her to lay down on her head. So and of course that kind of gives her what I call like the boy look. But she's not a boy, guys. She's not a boy. She's a little girl. She's just gonna have a little baby, kind of a baby haircut. You gotta come around her ears. Cause she wouldn't have hair on her ears. Yeah, she would be. And we're letting the hair kind of fall the way it wants to fall. So that's where the difference comes in as well. Like we want the hair to fall however it wants to fall, and we just want to accentuate where we're putting it. So that's where we're at right now. That looks really cute. Okay, so now we're going to bring the hair above it over. So if that makes sense, like the hair, like the longer hair, we're actually brushing it forward now. And as you can see, it's taking me quite some time just on that one little spot, but it's worth it. So we're going to bring a little bit more hair, and we're going to hold it down. And if you can't really see it, when I hold it down, she does have hair that's laying longer. That's the hair we need to tame so that it's even though, naturally it wouldn't be completely even, but, you know, you know, we want it to look natural, but we also want it to look presentable a little bit. And then we brush a little more over. And what's going on is we're actually filling in that section. That looks really nice. Looks really nice. Oh, it looks really nice. And as we push the hair the way we want it, you'll start getting a feel of what you want and don't want. And like I said, everybody's vision is going to be a touch different. Everybody's going to have like where they see hair or don't see hair, and that's where you put your baby's hair, where you see it. And then we're going to brush a little more, and you keep brushing, and you keep clipping, and you keep brushing until you get it. You're going to turn and do the other side. Hopefully, I don't think we have to do that much to this side, do we? It's looking really kind of nice. It's kind of weird when the hair kind of falls on its own the way you want it, but then relieving, I guess, at the same time. Like, yeah, you're doing exactly what I need you to do. So we got this hair laying just right. And like I said, what we'll do is we'll keep trimming it, and we'll keep getting like what I call straight edges of unrealistic length that maybe we miss. And what is going to happen is we'll get a really nice hairstyle going for her. Then we'll actually come back and trim it probably a touch more because we want to get her when you lay it flat. We don't want it over her eyes. Not over her eyes. Yeah, we don't want it when the mother brushes forward. It falls over her eyes. It shouldn't fall over her eyes. When she wears her headbands, it actually should fall a little bit below the headband, but not like overpowering her face. She's a pretty face. We want to see the pretty face. I want to see her pretty brown eyes. So we got to make sure that we get that face, get that hair laying where that face is. We are almost getting there. Now, this hair did not wave up. My only complaint was I probably should have used a more wavier hair. You live and you learn. Now we're gonna do a little bit of trims. Where I'm thinking it should fall like in layers. So we want it to fall in layers. We definitely want it to fall in layers. And I'm doing kind of a wild child hair look. I know it's gonna make sense when I'm done. I'm not losing my mind. I promise you. But we are not getting it to a true length, and I need it to lay true. If it's not going to lay true, we don't have it where we need it. All right, we're gonna do a sit her up. So I'm not just cutting a cut. We're going to take our comb first. Oh shoot! Oh, excuse me, guys. I just spilled drink on everything, like my phone and everything, and on the computer. So if I blink out, that's exactly what happened. Everything now has monster, which I should not have right there. Okay, I hope. Oh shoot! I think I'm still live streaming. Guys, you would not believe what just happened. So I literally clicked the button trying to wipe the computer screen off. Bear with me, bear with me. It looks like it's not going to. I hope it doesn't mess up. This sucks, guys. That would be a horrible way to end this live stream. But if I do blink out, that's exactly what happened. I did you get no liver than that. I literally just spilled drink over everything. Just right now. So you get no liver than that. It really sucks. And hopefully the computer doesn't die. If the computer does die, because I'm gonna try to continue. But if the computer does die, you know what? I'm gonna go get a towel. I will be all right. Back. Get a towel real quick. Okay, so I'm back and I have a towel. And we are gonna try to dry off this paper towel, because the blanket was just rolling the water around. Thankfully, the top of this computer isn't invasive, I guess. And I keep hitting things. I have no idea what I'm hitting. I hope I'm not gonna blow up. If I blow up, thanks for watching. I will not blow up, but if the computer pops off, my phone seems to be fine. I think it just like splashed it on top of it. Bomber, and that's what I get for having a monster and forgetting about it. If I do poof, thank you for watching the video. Promise I'll come back with my phone. Unless the phone poof too, then I guess we'll be in trouble. I guess we'll be in trouble if that happens, but I think everything's fine. I think everything looks fine. Probably have some very sticky keys now, but I was talking about worrying about the water. I guess I should have been worried about the freaking monster. That's crazy. So, hey, don't do a video with a real drink by you that close to your computer, and be aware of your surroundings. And that's your side lesson for today. So we did that happen. And I want to see something. Let's see what we're looking at. I'm laughing at myself, guys. I can't believe I just did that. So, Buddha. It looks like I clipped it a touch too short. Yeah. Let's see. Let's turn it on. Let me see that side. Hold on. Ugh. All right, we're gonna put the headband down. I think I did clip it too short. Maybe. Now she's got this mohawk thing going. I think I got her edges too short. Maybe not. But I mean, we'll see. That's right, cat. We're gonna go on ahead and finish killing the computer. Woo. All right. It seems like we're still surviving. I will survive. The computer is like, this girl is trying to kill me. I'm not trying to kill my computer, I promise you guys. But I do want to get this finished, and then we will pray over the computer and have a great afternoon. Anyway, we're not gonna let that deter or defeat us. Yeah, I cut this side a touch shorter than what it needed to be, but that's fine because she's a baby, so she can have shorter hair in places. That doesn't really. I know what I'm doing wrong. Brushing her hair wrong. And that's the only thing downside to me about the directional routing is that you can't change it out once you directionally route it because the hair has now been trained to go the way you routed it. All right, let's try the headband again. Let's see what we're working with. See. Why does it look like that? Okay. Not really digging on the sides. The front, I can live with. The sides I may root over because I'm not really digging on where it's landing. Unless I go ahead and just say she's. I tried to brush it thin, root it thin, but I think I rooted it too thin because you could barely see it. And maybe that's where I need to go with that. Because when I'm thinking like when I'm taking her pictures, she's gonna look freaking bald, and she's not on that side. She's technically not bald on that side. I'm looking at the hair, but it's not giving me the look I wanted. All right, okay, guys. I'm going to continue to work on her hair and decide exactly where I'm going to go with this. It's rooted the way I want it to, but I'm looking on the camera And like they say, the camera don't lie, but also like this is seeing it in person and seeing it on cam. It's two different things. And what I want is the way the pictures, when I take her pictures, I want them to see way better than what I'm seeing on cam. And I'm not right now. So I'm going to keep working on this. And thankfully, my computer did not die. And guys, this was a wild ride. Thank you for riding with me. And hopefully, this won't be the last time I record on this computer and things will work out, right? And y'all have a great evening. I will probably do some after pictures once it gets done. Okay. Thanks again for watching and tune in next time. We're going to root her eyelashes if the computer does not die.